right, go ahead.
I want to talk about Shane. I don't think it's a big secret to anybody that knows you, and you know him by just about everybody in town, that you've been battling cancer for a long time.
Yep.
And you've had some pretty amazing events and results happen because of this cancer thing. You want to take us through the scenario about when you found out about it and lead us up to the time of where you're at right now.
You know, as a high school student, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is just a horrible disease. It's an autoimmune disease, and they don't know a cure, and they don't know what causes it. And they treat it with steroids and stuff. And I had that for a number of years, but in 1993, I was diagnosed with colon cancer at the age of 33, and it was
not a good cancer to have.
It was devastating to me because I was so active and I was an athlete, and you know, I went in and I had a surgical procedure called a total colectomy, where they remove the entire colon. And I had 52 weeks of chemotherapy and got through that. And that was before I started to really research and be proactive about, you know, different holistic therapies and stuff. In 2000, I was diagnosed with rectal cancer. And so I had to go back in and have another surgery, which will remove the rectum. And it really an amazing surgery, because they take about 14 inches of the small intestine, they rebuild the rectum, they take it out, they put it back in, they let the internal things heal, and then they hook everything back up. So I didn't have to have a colostomy or an ileostomy bag. Got through that without having to have chemo, and then in 2006, devastating cancer. The word cancer is just devastating to anybody that hears it. I mean, even, you know, skin cancer and things like that
especially
are
at our age.
Any cancer is terrible.
And as young as we are, and we're seeing it more and more, you know, the statistics were in the late 50s, 1 in 10 people got cancer. You know, today, the statistics are 1 in 3, and I think we all have been touched by it. I mean, each and every one of us.
Yeah.
You know, Tim Stout's brother.
Yeah.
You know,
My
Mad
mother.
Dog. You know, Bob. You know people that have
I've
had
had
it.
family members that have died of cancer.
But I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and we went to Mayo Clinic, and I spent 3 weeks there getting a diagnosis. I was proactive. I went to University of Michigan. I went to Carmanos Cancer Center, which is just a fantastic facility.
Great place.
And I mean, the tiger paraphernalia that's in the hallways. I mean, just, you know, an awesome place. Very supportive people, and you know, it was stage 4 adenocarcinoma, and they gave me a 1% survival rate for 6 months. And so I came home. I've got 7 children. I own 3 businesses. My wife is fantastic and supportive. And, you know, I wanted to do everything I could to survive. And so I started studying nutrition. I started studying therapies, holistic therapies, and hundreds of them. And they all kind of mimic the Gerson therapy in the fact that live enzymes in organic, freshly squeezed juice and eating organic foods. Today, you know, people, and I asked my oncologist this morning, you know, just point blank, what causes cancer? And her response was not a scientific response, and I was expecting a scientific response. She said, well, smoking, obesity, chemicals in our food. You know, if we look at it today, our society wants instant gratification with our food. So we go to Burger King, we go to McDonald's, we go to our grocery stores, and we buy this produce. And think about this: in our meat, we get growth hormones, we get steroids. You know, that the beef, our chicken, any kind of meat that you eat has some sort of a steroid, unless it's organic or free range. Our vegetables, herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides. Plus, we're growing it in unnatural soil. We've had to regenerate the soil with chemicals, you know, so that these fruits and vegetables will grow. Well, you know, the organic end of it, I mean, really the live enzymes in the organic produce, I juice 13 glasses of organic juice a day. And the Gerson therapy has one part of it that is abnormal, according to the other therapies that are out there, and that's organic coffee enemas. And you know, Father Joe loves to kid me about it. We used to go to chapel with Father Joe in the morning at 6 o'clock. He had a chapel in his home. And
yeah, I know you guys did that.
I walked in one day, and he tells this story wide openly, so I'll tell it to you guys. I walked in one day, he says, Shaye, do you want a cup of coffee? I said, no, thanks. I've had mine rectally this morning already, you know. So he gets a kick out of that, and then he tells it to the parents on the sidelines when I'm getting my pitchers ready for a ball game at Catholic Central. But, you know, I believe that, you know, cancer has been, you know, it's an epidemic now. Okay?
It is.
Let's face it. You know, I don't think we have a true grasp on what causes it, and I don't think we have a true grasp on how to heal it. Now, chemotherapy helps some. But chemotherapy, it destroys the immune system. It destroys our body's defenses to be able to heal itself. And I've taken the approach, and I've done chemotherapy, and I'm not against it. I'm not an advocate for it. I'm neutral. But when I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and they said that I had 6 months to live, I said, you know, I've got to do everything I can to, to survive this. And so I intermingled the Gerson therapy with chemotherapy. One destroys the immune system, one builds the immune system. And within an 8-month period of time, I went in for a PET scan at Carmanos. And
when was this, by the way?
This was in 2006.
Okay.
And this Indian doctor came out, and I couldn't understand him. And so when he said it's not active, I didn't understand what he said, and Lisa and I started crying, and you know, we thought it was bad again. He said, no, let me get another doctor. So the doctor came in and says, not active. It does not show up on a PET scan. It is gone.
Wow.
And
you start crying all over again.
I cried all over again, and it's emotional.
Sure,
it's an emotional
it's
thing. You know,
You're an emotional
it's an
guy
emotional
anyway,
thing,
so.
and I'm passionate. I'm passionate about everything I do.
Yeah,
Whether it's coaching 10-year-old kids or whether it's fighting cancer.
Gosh, are you kidding me?
And then, you know, I had 3 great years. I played baseball. I went and pitched in the Roy Hobbs World Series. I beat Minnesota, Puerto Rico, and California, and we won the whole thing. And